Alright YouTube, so before this video gets started, I just want to say to you guys, thank you for the continued... Alright guys, so before this video gets started, I just want to say thank you once again for the continued views and watch time that all you guys have done while I've been gone. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure you turn the bell notification on, because YouTube shows me that a lot of you guys don't watch my videos right away or whatever the case may be. So make sure you do that for me, because if you don't know, I'm still deployed right now. I'm overseas with the Navy, and I don't actually have the physical vehicles that I'm about to talk about here with me. So my videos will be sporadic. It won't be really a given time when I upload videos. So make sure you have those things on for me, and let's get into the video. Last but not least, check the links down below. I'm an Amazon affiliate. You click those links, you're gonna buy something off Amazon anyway. You click the link for me, I make money, you buy whatever you want, and you're not giving money to me. It's a win-win for everyone. So make sure you click that link, or whatever link, or if you want to buy something off Amazon, send me a message and I'll send you a link for it. Sometimes it even gives you a discount, so why not? Appreciate it. Alright, so enough of the theatrics and all that stuff. I got a lot of good information for you guys. So I've been thinking of how can I make a video that's going to be interesting for YouTube with me not having the car, the truck here, or whatever I want to talk about. How can I make an interesting video? So I came up with the idea of, let's get whoever watches this video, you, your friends, dad, whatever, let's get y'all involved on the build, particularly for my truck. The car, I'm still figuring stuff out. I've got a lot of stuff I could show you. So I've got a lot of free time on my hands right now. And don't worry, I'm not going to leave myself as a talking head on this video. Just bear with me for a few more minutes, and I'll just show some clips of everything that I'm talking about, and it'll be okay. So anyways, like I said, I've been making notes of all this crazy ass, excuse my language, all this crazy stuff that I've been coming up with about how I can build it. Alright, so I got notes here on this little notepad, plus I got some for the car, which are not really color coded, but they're colorful. I had something else, and then whip out the old iPad. Let me show you guys, just so you have an understanding of how deep I'm doing this. So this is for the car. Let's do the one for the truck, because that's what we're going to talk about right now. So I've got we're trying to figure out what compression ratios are going to be, what parts we need, how much they're going to cost, all that stuff here. So I want to go over that with you guys. Now everything I just showed you on the iPad, I'm going to screenshot on the screen and kind of go over it with you. So like I said, I want you guys to be a part of this build. So give me your thoughts. Drop comments down below. You can hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram's down below. Of what you think. If you think my ideas are good, if you want to see something different, if you have a suggestion, if you're someone who's done this, help me help myself. I'm open to anything, because right now I'm not to say I'm in the planning stages, because I'm about to start purchasing parts. I just got to list them out. That's how I figured out with the Camaro. That's the best way for me to do it and be efficient and actually not waste money, because I have run into some instances where I have to buy stuff twice. It's hard to avoid that with cars, because you don't know exactly what you need when you're not just doing direct replacements, when you're building something kind of from the ground up. But if you have, I feel like if you're organized a little bit, you'll have a better deal at the end of the day. So what the goal is we want a 408 cubic inch motor in my 2002 Silverado 1500. If you haven't seen it, I'll put it on the screen somewhere. I have a 2002 single cab, regular bed, 1500 with a cam and head package 5.3 with a 480 swapped into it, with a 410 gear in the rear end, and some top end intake stuff and all that stuff. It's got a large core radiator in it. What else have I done? It's lowered, all that stuff. Watch the other videos if you don't know about my truck. It's on there. The biggest thing that I noticed, because I get a lot of questions about that truck more than the car, is what part do you have for this? How did you do this? Where'd you get this from? So I want you guys to be a part of that. So I'm trying to build, I have a 6-liter complete short block at my house. At my home back in the States, I have a complete 6-liter short block that I've showed on here before. We're going to use that 6-liter to make a 408. So I'm going to get a 408 cubic inch rotating assembly from Texas Speed. So that includes a 4-inch stroke crank, the appropriate size pistons with the stock length rods to achieve that 408 cubic inch. So that is, I'm pretty much set in stone. That's the rotating assembly I'm going with. Because I can upgrade it, and then luckily my buddies at Attitude Streetcars, I have access to their goodies where I can get those parts and kind of spec it the way I want, because I'm going to put a Callie's crank in it, Callie's rods in it, either Wiseco or CP Carrillo pistons. Haven't decided which one, really whatever's available, because I think the car has Wiseco. The car has Wiseco, well, the engine that I had built has Wiseco pistons, so I might try CP Carrillo just to do something different. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go with the PRC ported heads. Now I want to say the PRC heads I was looking at were the two, well, I got it on here. Let's see if I can find that bad boy somewhere. So there's 68 cc chamber, and they're the 234, I think, PRC heads. So they're going to be a 6-bolt head, not factory casting head, because I have Texas Speed 2.5 ported heads on the truck right now. The engine that I have, basically I'm going to end up with 3 engines, because I have a set of cylinder heads at home. I have a 5.3 sitting on the engine stand that doesn't have cylinder heads. It doesn't have pistons and rods in it either, but it doesn't have cylinder heads. And then I have the engine that's in the truck that's completely built. Then I have the 6.0 that has a full bottom end with no heads. And I have another set of heads that originally came off my truck that I can use for it, that 5.3. I have a plan that the 5.3 that's in my truck, I'm going to put it back to how it was before I did this new cam with the bigger heads. So basically I had a mild bullet racing cam in it with stock heads with some upgraded springs. The engine ran great. I'm going to put that engine back together with new bearings. The other 5.3, we'll probably put that big old cam that I got in it, put it in something like with a manual, so you don't have to worry about converter and those big old heads. Just make it like, I don't know, you can do something stupid with it. I was thinking about putting some forged pistons and rods in it and maybe putting it on a turbo build, because it's kind of, the heads are there, the cam's there, you know, it's like 50% on that one. Like I said, the one that's in the truck, put it back to how I loved it, and then leave it, and then maybe that other 5.3 do something different with it. But that's besides the point. But I want these PRC heads, one, because I want to maximize the setup. I could use the 2.5 Texas Speed or PRC ported heads that I have, but I'm gonna still need heads somewhere else down the road anyway for one of the other engines. So I'm okay with buying these the PRC heads, because it's gonna give me the way they got it set up, because they tell you the flow rates on how, on the website they tell you, that's why I told you the chamber volume, because it tells you the flow rates on how those heads work. The biggest thing, the reason I say that is because I'm going to put it up on the screen, is I'm going with the Cam Motion, they're called the Hot Street Stroker camshaft. So what is it? It's for Cathedral Port, because I'm keeping Cathedral Port. I love Cathedral Port. Some people If I could go rectangle port, I actually would go rectangle port if I could, but I already have a cathedral port intake that I'm going to use. I don't want to buy another intake unless I bought a high ram and I'll swap in, because I wanted to go with Frankenstein heads. Frankenstein does offer, they do offer cathedral port, their M311 heads or 310, whichever ones, but the way their heads are built, I would have to change so much within the truck that it's not worth it. Like, I gotta change valve covers, put the coil pack somewhere else. So much, it's just not worth it. So I don't want to go that route. So the PRC heads actually match up with this cam the best. I'll show. Hopefully you can still see it. The way that Cam Motion wants the cam to work with whatever heads you work, the heads that I'm picking from Texas Speed line up perfectly with how they should. How Cam Motion wants the cam to work with the heads lines up perfectly with how the heads work. So I put this little chart together that I'll put on the screen, and it has your bore size, which is 4.03 inches, your stroke, which is a 4-inch stroke, like I said, the chamber side volume, which is what I'm going to pick for those heads. I'm going with a -3 cc piston on it, only because the reason I'm doing that, because you got your gasket, and I got questions about that, but I talk Texas Speed. Only thing is, because you see down there at the bottom, it's got compression ratio. It's 11.236 to 1. That cam, let's see if I can pull it up on their website real quick. That cam wants to be ran at a 10.7 to 11.7 to 1 compression ratio. So the way I have it set up on that other screen that I just showed you is almost smack dab in the middle. So that works perfect. The other thing they recommend on that cam that I'm going to pick, unless you guys suggest something else, is the rear end axle ratio, because it's a 3.42 to 411. Well, I've got a 410 in mine, so it's 0.01 less, but I think I might drop mine to like 393. I think I'm gonna drop my gear ratio to a 393. Maybe I gotta see how the truck drives before I do that, but I think I'm gonna go to a 393. That'll put me right in the middle. The only reason, like I said, I want you guys' opinion is because, say the stall converter, which it can be higher, is a 3200 to 3800. Well, my truck has a 4000 stall Circle D converter in it. It's really not that big of a deal, so we'll live with it. And the only thing, I was going to change the LSA to a little bit lower, but I think I'm just going to leave it. Because like I said, I want to build this truck with something. When someone asks me, hey, what cam do you have in that truck? It sounds good, or I like the way it performs, I like the power it made. I can literally send them a link and say, this is the cam that I have in my truck. Because before, somebody say, hey, what cam do you have in your truck? Oh, I got a Texas Speed custom cam. It's similar to their 224, but we changed some stuff and did all this. I don't want to do that this time. I want to have something. So when they say, Stan, how'd you build your motor? Got your 408 from Texas Speed, got some PRC heads, got this Cam Motion cam. There's my motor. You can do it or you can't. Whatever you want to do. If someone asks, well, hey, what's a step down from that? I don't have a 408. I've got a 5.7 or even a 5.3. I can say, well, Cam Motion says this is the one below it. Give us a try. Instead of saying, I got some cam that nobody else has in the world and it sounds like it's going to shake the earth like mine does, but it doesn't really do what you want it to do. And plus, like I said, I'm trying to build something that all makes sense. So we got that for the cam. And then I'm gonna switch the headers that I have on it to Speed Engineering, just because. And the only thing, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's an F-16 flying over right now. We're gonna build the top end and stuff like that. But the main thing is, I wanted to talk to you guys about if you have any suggestions, because like I said, it has a 480 in it now with a 4000 stall torque converter. So that's already set up. It's got a true track rear end in it. Probably need some axles or some bearings. I might rebuild the rear end later on down the road, like maybe when I get back home after I get the engine running, maybe. But But like I said, that was the main thing I wanted to talk about, was to get you guys' opinion on how you think I should do this 408. Because like I said, I'm targeting 11:1 to 1 or 11:2 to 1 on the compression ratio. I'm going to run, like I said, the 408 complete on the 6.0 block. I'll have some videos of me building it with American Speed Shop, because he's going to help me out on that. Because I think I should be an engine builder. I get a thrill out of this. I get a thrill out of figuring out what works. I'm learning at the same time, because I didn't understand all the numbers on how the engines worked and how this part coincides with this part, and how if they mesh together correct, they'll make a whole bunch of power. If they're way off, they'll kill your power, kill your torque, stuff like that. I'm going to put ARP everything in it. If you've seen my video on the other engine I had built for the car, I try to put the good stuff in it. I learned from this truck a while ago that don't try to cut corners. You don't have to go above and beyond and buy, the part that's twice as much as everything else on the market. But if you get the good stuff, the stuff that's proven to work, you'll be in good shape. And if you get it, like I said, kind of in its range of where it should be working, you won't ever stress it out. This truck, this engine will eventually be, unless God forbid something crazy happens, this engine will be the engine that finally gets boost on the truck. Like I've done this 1,000 times. Oh, I'm gonna put turbo on it or whatever. But now I'm kind of looking at Pro Chargers. Give me your thoughts on that as well. I'm looking at a Pro Charger setup for this truck. Just throwing around ideas. I got to get the engine built first, and then the next step will be to build the engine for the car, which will be a 427. Like I said, I still got some stuff to figure out with that, but the 427, you guys, I'll probably show the screenshots. You can't see it, but it'll have 427 with a brand new block. We'll get some Frankenstein heads. I'm probably gonna run, I don't know what cam I'm gonna run. Oh, I'm gonna run a Frankenstein custom cam. I am gonna run a custom cam in that only because that's a very unique engine. So that's a little bit different, I feel like. But I'm gonna get a Frankenstein cam because I haven't seen that many Frankenstein cams, period, in anything, let alone a 6th gen Camaro. Because I'm gonna get ported Frankenstein heads for that engine. So we're gonna, that engine, we're gonna have to try to get that thing on kill on an NA motor. On the truck, I do want the truck to be on kill too. I want the truck. I just watched a video on YouTube. I think his name's Jeffrey Holder. I'll put a screenshot of his video where he compared a 408 and then a D-stroked LS7, or a 6.0 and a D-stroked LS7, something like that. And he showed, even though it was on an engine dyno, I forgot what he did to, I think he put heads, trick flow heads on it, put a cam in it. That 6.0 made like 600 something horses on the engine dyno. So I'm thinking, especially in my truck, because the way, long drive shaft, big transmission, big converter, I'm still thinking that thing can make 500 NA. If I can get that truck to make 500 minimum, and I'm talking about, and he even said in his, it wasn't a very aggressive tune-up on that engine or anything. If I can get that truck to make an easy 500 with no crazy timing, obviously not putting boost on it, but if it can make 500 NA with no crazy timing, truck will be a monster. It'll be fun NA. It'll be way more fun than it is right now. Then the car, I'm shooting between, I think 650, low timing on that. It's gonna be easy too, NA. The car will probably stay NA for a while because I'll build the engine for the truck, put it in the truck, then we'll start building the engine for the car. We'll go through the process because we're gonna have to get a lot of parts for that. Just because that's the way this new stuff is. A truck's simple. That'll almost be an engine swap. I'm even thinking about doing that at home, and then once I get the engine in, taking it to Attitude, because I'm literally not changing anything. I'm taking one block and head out and putting another block and head back in. Probably have to change the fuel injectors. Maybe put a fuel pump in it, maybe, because it's got a pump in it, but I don't know how far it can go. Hopefully also, if you guys have any suggestions on fuel, because I was thinking about that. Can I put inline. Can I put like tap the tank and put an inline instead of putting one with a hat on it? I don't know how it goes, if that'll work, because I've got the fuel rail, so I can tee into it because I got a fuel regulator. I can kind of tee into it to feed it fuel. So we'll have to see how I can do that. I want to talk to Attitude about that because I think the truck's going to need more fuel to get to that number. But this is stuff that's going through my head. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I could talk about this to the camera to you guys all day long, but I don't want to bother you. I'm already coming up on 18 minutes anyway. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think, if you have a suggestion on how we should do this. If you have a truck, if you've seen a truck, if you know a truck that has X, Y, and Z that I said, let me know. I say trucks because there's cars that have 1,000 different setups, but the trucks a little bit, I've learned, whatever works for an F-body or Corvette or Camaro doesn't really work with the trucks. I mean, obviously, because it's a completely different platform. They can kind of all share stuff, but then the truck's kind of over here on its own. That's why they have different ported heads for the truck versus all the other cars. It's just how it is. But it makes it fun. It makes it where there's still something new to learn about it. Even though everybody's tried to do everything under the sun with the trucks, there's not enough people doing it, so there's still more to do. Make sure you subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Amazon, hit that link. Y'all be playing. Some people be ordering with me. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Hopefully you watch this whole video. Have a good day. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Can I promote anything else? No. Have a good day.